I started learning Python from scratch, built my first calculator, and immediately broke it. Hi, I am Until I Get Employed, and I am documenting my journey from complete beginner to employed developer. If you want to follow along and watch me struggle through coding problems, make sure to subscribe. Here's what happened. My calculator could add, subtract, multiply, and divide just fine. But there was one problem. The moment I entered anything other than one of those operators, the entire program crashed. So I started thinking about how I could prevent this from happening. After talking to my community and doing some research, I discovered something called a while loop. The idea was simple. Instead of letting the program continue immediately, I wanted it to keep asking for an input until the user entered a valid operator. At first, that sounded easy enough. I created a variable called ask and set it to true. As long as ask remained true, the program would keep asking for an input. Once a valid operator was entered, I would set it to false and allow the rest of the program to run. But then I ran into another problem. I needed to check for multiple valid inputs. At first, I only managed to get it working for a single input. For example, entering A worked, but entering B didn't. That completely confused me. For a moment, I even considered creating separate checks for every possible input, but that felt unnecessarily complicated. After some searching online, I discovered something called a logical operator, in this case, the OR operator. It allowed me to check for multiple conditions inside the same if statement. So instead of checking for only one valid input, I could check for several at once. And just like that, both inputs work perfectly correctly. Once I understood that concept, adding it to my calculator was actually pretty straightforward. I moved the operator input inside the while loop and checked whether the entered text matched one of the valid operators. If it didn't, the program displayed an error message and asked again. If it did, the loop ended and the calculator continued normally. Now the calculator doesn't crash anymore. Instead, it tells the user that the input was invalid and asks to try again. And when I finally entered a valid operator, it worked exactly as intended. Honestly, this was a small change, but it taught me something actually very valuable. By programming, you don't just create something, you also learn where you are lacking. While I was doing my research about which path I wanted to take, I was actually not sure how to effectively learn and why people always keep on saying that you actually have to build something and not just watch tutorial videos in order to learn how to code. And now I kind of get it. Because without doing this, I would have never thought about learning what a while loop is, researching the problem, and then actually gaining a valuable skill that I might use in the future. At this moment, I'm quite sure that I can use while loops in various different ways, and my brain is actually overflowing with ideas that I would love to put into practice and make more videos on. A huge thanks to everyone in the community who helped me figure this out, especially XLERB2286, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, probably not, for pointing me in the right direction. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and following my journey from complete beginner to employed developer, and see you in the next video, until I get employed.